What's going on, guys? Nick Lesagore here.
Brandon Delakia.
Exit 12
Brewery.
in the house.
Yeah.
With a first taste of Sam New England IPA with Enigma. This is a beer that we brewed for a competition.
Yeah, I think it's the Boston Beer Competition. Or Boston Homebrew Competition.
Boston Homebrew Competition.
Yep.
Dropped the cans off earlier this week.
Oh yeah.
So now we can tell you what the beer is and check this thing out.
Want some of this in your face?
Nice and hazy.
Oh yeah.
This is Brandon's recipe of a New England IPA. Some loaded it with almost 50-50 of two-row and Golden Promise.
Yep.
I like honey malt in my New England IPAs. Brandon left it out this time.
It still is very turbid and it's a very golden color, but it's got that lightness to it as well, and the honey malt kind of deepens it up just a tad more than I like.
And to Brandon's point, we used Irish moss in this beer, and so with the Irish moss, you see that it may still look a little turbid, but the Irish moss really does a good job between that and cold crashing and clearing it up quite a bit.
Yep.
Utilizing 2 pounds of flaked oats in this beer, and a few of the brew tubers have had Sam before, which is our original with Citra, Galaxy, and Centennial.
Yes.
For bittering?
Yep.
And so this one is Centennial, Citra,
And
Enigma.
Mm-hmm.
So we just changed out the Galaxy for Enigma, and we're really, I think it's Galaxy for Enigma.
You got it.
We're really happy with the way this looks.
Yeah.
Let's get a sniff on this thing.
All right, let's do this. You got it. Yeah. So I'm getting a lot of the tropical notes.
I get peach. I get apricot.
Definitely peach. Little honeydew maybe.
Almost like a very light Concord grape aspect quality, which is nice.
I'm getting a little melon.
Honeydew melon. Did you already say that?
I just said honeydew.
Yeah, definitely honeydew. I definitely get the honeydew melon quality as well. It's got a nice, kind of rounded, not graininess, but sweetness almost. You can't smell sweet, but it's got this really nice, maltiness.
Yeah, absolutely. It's got a ton of aroma. That's by process because of the pressurized fermentation. We feel holds those aroma notes in a lot better. But yeah, it's definitely got a good amount of tropical fruit flavor going on in there.
This is the first time Brandon's trying it. I've been pulling off the keg. I canned some of it for the competition, as I mentioned. I took a can, opened a can, and drank a can of it. So I've had this quite a bit. So this is Brandon's turn to try it.
Yeah.
His brainchild, his masterpiece, our entry into a local comp.
Cheers.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers. Yeah, so it's definitely tropical. It's fruity. It's got a nice, really subdued bittering. I thought it was going to be a little more bitter because we, by design, more bitter because we sort of put more IBUs in our New Englands than most. But it's got a nice soft bittering. The middle palate's very clean, very crisp, very creamy. The mouthfeel is very good. Let me just take another sipperoo there.
This beer is drinking really well right now. The first week it was green, understandably so, and I think that there was some residual bitterness on it, but this thing is loaded with honeydew melon, loaded with it. Love the honeydew melon aspect. I actually get a little more of the bitterness than Brandon does on the back end. So after I take a sip, the bitterness kind of sits on my palate quite a bit. But this is eons better than it was a week ago.
Yeah.
So this is probably pretty close to the prime for this New England IPA.
Yeah, and it's not phenolic at all. A lot of times we'll get that slight hint, and a lot of times we got a big, huge hint of the medicinal flavor. This has none of that at all. It's all straight up fruit and just this really creaminess. that comes with the oats.
This thing clocked in at 6%, so right there in the beginning stages of an IPA, and a beer that even my glass was relatively full, and I'm just slugging through this thing.
Awesome.
It's got great legs on it as well. I don't know if you can see that, but the reach on this thing is just fantastic.
Yeah.
And the head retention. A little bit less than a quarter finger head, Brandon, might be slightly more, but it's really just sticking around, and that's a great aspect of having fresh beer on tap on a kegerator. And so what we do for our carbonation method is we will hit it with about 21 to 22 psi for 2 days, and then we bump it down to between 12 and 15 for 1 day, and then they're pretty much ready to go for us. They are a little bit on the less carbonated end. This thing's been sitting for probably about 5 days to 7, maybe a week at like 12 psi, and this thing is perfectly carbonated right now. And just a beer that is drinking. I'm really impressed.
Yeah, I'm super impressed with this one. I think our recipe for our Sam series of beers is pretty spot on for what we want to do. Slight tweaks in between, like you said, honey malt, no honey malt. But I really like the 50-50 blend of base malts, because I just feel like it's the only way to get that really nice golden color out of it. A lot of times it can either be too light or too dark. I think that's the perfect combination.
And to add to that point, the Golden Promise, Maris Otter, some of these sweeter malts, base malts, really add a layer of complexity to the beer itself. I think to do a New England IPA with just straight two-row kind of makes it one-dimensional. This adds a layer of sweetness that I really think complements those hops really well.
Yeah, definitely. That is one aspect of a New England IPA or a hazy IPA that sometimes gets lost. You're just like, yeah, two-row, some flaked adjuncts, call it a day. It definitely adds a little bit of complexity, and when you have such a fruited, high, like orange juice type beer, really juicy beer, having a little complexity can set you apart from other people that are doing it.
Yeah, I agree. And I think overall this beer is fantastic. This is going to go relatively quickly. A lot of our beers that we do, in my case, tend to sit a little bit in the keg for one reason or another. We have great local breweries around here that I buy from often. But this thing is going to go quick. Yeah. Brandon's going to get his half of the keg.
Oh yeah.
We got a cheese board over there, some nice olives. Got the boil going on our apple cinnamon brown ale lateral cohesion, so we're gonna go enjoy that. But we just wanted to show this real quick, give an update on the beer itself, and hopefully, maybe if some of your brew tubers, Dennis, are lucky enough, you'll get a box with a couple of cans.
And go to wherever you get your podcasts and subscribe, leave a comment to the Exit 12 Homebrew Podcast. If you're watching this video and you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Hit that little like button. Nick will put a like button right here.
Oh, Jesus. I'll have to figure that one out. But yeah, we're going to get back to the brew day. Just wanted to show this real quick and say cheers.
Cheers.